Children, it is about the bridge course. You know that previous knowledge is, that is basic knowledge is must to get the advanced knowledge. Bridge course is a preparation course for the higher class curriculum to improve the learning level. To have the better learning in the 10th standard, you must recall the 9th standard concepts. So here let us discuss about the concept that you have learned in 9th standard and you have to recall them. So let us review the concepts of 9th standard. The concepts are as follows. Different sets of numbers n, w, z, q, that is set of natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers, real numbers, laws of exponents and basic concepts of geometry, point, line, plane, etc., angle sum property of a triangle, polynomials, monomials, binomials, trinomials and all identities. That is a plus b the whole square is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square, a minus b the whole square is equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square, x plus a into x plus b is equals to x square plus x into a plus b plus ab, a plus b plus c the whole square is equals to a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca, a square minus b square equals a plus b into a minus b, a plus b the whole cube is equals to a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b, a minus b the whole cube is equals to a cube minus b cube minus 3ab into a minus b. The factors of a cube plus b cube equals a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. A cube minus b cube is equals to a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. A cube plus b cube plus c cube is equals to a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. Next, congruency of triangles. There are some congruence rules about the congruency of triangles. SAS congruence rule, ASA congruence rule, AAS congruence rule, SSS congruence rule, RHS congruence rule. And you know that angles opposite to equal sides of triangle are equal. Sides opposite to equal angles are also equal. And each angle of an equilateral triangle is 60 degree. And also you must know the construction of triangle. Next, quadrilaterals and its definition. Angle sum property of quadrilateral, types of quadrilateral and their properties, types of parallelograms and their properties, midpoint theorem, definition and figure, converse of midpoint theorem, coordinate geometry, Cartesian coordinate geometry, and here the x-axis and y-axis, and quadrants made by the intersection of x-axis and y-axis, origin and its coordinates, x coordinate that is abscissa, y coordinates that is ordinate, and coordinates of the point which is given. Next, area of parallelograms and area of triangles. Area of parallelograms on the same base and between the same parallel. Area of parallelograms and triangle on the same base and between the same parallels. Circle, definition of the circle and also definitions of center, radius, chord, diameter, arc, segment, etc. Cyclic quadrilateral, definition and its property. Surface areas and volumes, and also that is the surface areas and volumes of cube, cuboid, cylinder, cone, hemisphere. And statistics. In statistics there was about the measures of central tendency of ungrouped data and basic concepts of probability. These are about the concept that you learnt in the 9th standard. Here you go through your notebook, what you have written and what you have studied and what you have practiced in 9th standard. Let us discuss one by one different sets of numbers. N, the set of natural numbers. You know that the counting numbers 1, 2, 3 so on are called natural numbers. So n is equals to 1, 2, 3 so on. W, the set of whole numbers. Here it includes 0. Together with the natural numbers it includes 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 so on. Z, the set of integers, and here natural numbers 0 and opposites of natural numbers. And you know that natural numbers are called positive integers and opposites of natural numbers are called negative integers, and 0 is also there. 1, 2, 3, so on, 0, and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, so on. Next, Q, the set of rational numbers. The number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q is called rational number. So you can represent the rational number by Q, that is Q is equals to P by Q, where P belongs to Z and Q belongs to Z, and Q is not equals to 0. Are the set of real numbers, and it is a collection of both rational and irrational numbers. Real set of real numbers is a collection of both rational and irrational numbers. You know what are irrational numbers? The number which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q are called irrational numbers, and they are non-terminating, non-recurring decimals. Rational numbers are the numbers which can be expressed in the form of P by Q, and they are terminating decimals or non-terminating recurring decimals. But irrational numbers, they cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q, and they are non-terminating, non-recurring decimals. So you classify the following as rational and irrational numbers. And here root 23. You know that here 23 is not a perfect square. You can't get the exact value for the root 23. Therefore, root 23 is irrational numbers. Root 225, root 25 is equals to 15, and it is rational. 0.3796, it is terminating decimal. Therefore, it is rational. 7.478478, so on. Here it is non-terminating, non-recurring decimal, because here it does not get end. No end for this. So it is non-terminating, non-recurring decimal. Therefore, it is irrational. 1.1010010001, so on. It is non-terminating, non-recurring decimal. Therefore, it is irrational. 2 minus root 5. Here root 5 is there. Root 5 is irrational. Therefore, 2 minus root 5 is irrational. Next, 3 plus root 23 minus root 23. Here if you cancel root 23 minus 2 minus root 23, only 3 remains. Therefore, it is rational. 2 root 7 by 7 root 7. You know that root 7 cancels. 2 by 7 you will get. So, it is rational. 1 by root 2. Here root 2 is irrational. Therefore, it is irrational. 2 pi. You know that pi is a irrational. Therefore, 2 pi is also irrational. Next, about the laws of exponents. Here some laws of exponents are: a to the power of p into a to the power of q is equals to a to the power of p plus q. Second one, a to the power of p whole to the power of q is equals to a to the power of pq. A to the power of p by a to the power of q is equals to a to the power of p minus q. A to the power of p, b to the power of p is equals to ab whole to the power of p. Find the value of 64 to the power of 1 by 2, 32 to the power of 1 by 5, 2 to the power of 2 by 3 into 2 to the power of 1 by 5. Here to find the value of all these, you must use the laws of exponents. First you take 64 to the power of 1 by 2, and here you express 64 in the form of power of 2. 64, 2 3s are 2 2s are 2 16s are 2 8s are 2 4s are 2 2s are 2 1s are. So 64 means 2 to the power of 6 whole to the power of 1 by 2. And you know that this is in the form of a to the power of p whole to the power of q is equals to a to the power of pq. So you consider here p is equals to 6, q is equals to 1 by 2. P into q means 2 to the power of 6 into 1 by 2. So it is equals to 2 to the power of 2 1s are 2 3s are 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3 means 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. 2 into 2 into 2 is 8. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. Second, when you take 32 to the power of 1 by 5. Again we express 32 as a product of 2 as a power of 2. Here you know that if you take from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is 2 to the power of 5 whole to the power of 1 by 5. Again you use the laws of exponent. A to the power of p whole to the power of q is equals to a to the power of pq. That is 2 to the power of 5 into 1 by 5. 5 cancels. 2 to the power of 1, that is 2. Next you take third one, that is 2 to the power of 2 by 3 into 2 to the power of 1 by 5 is equals to, here you use the law of exponent, that is a to the power of p into a to the power of q is equals to a to the power of p plus q. So it is, in the place of a there is 2 and in the place of p there is 2 by 3 and q is here 1 by 5. So you take 2 to the power of 2 by 3 plus 1 by 5. Here you must add 2 by 3 and 1 by 5 and find the LCM. LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. And you know that 3 5s are 15, 2 5s are 10, plus 5 3s are 15, 1 3s are 3. That is equals to 2 to the power of 13 by 15. 13 by 15. Next, you know that sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. That is angle sum property of a triangle. And here in triangle ABC, angle A plus angle B, angle C is equals to 180 degree. Next, exterior angle is equals to the sum of interior opposite angle. If a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equals to the sum of the interior opposite angles. Here angle ACD is equals to angle A plus angle B. Here angle ACD is the exterior angle, that is equals to the sum of the interior opposite angles, that is angle A plus angle B. Next, about the polynomial, write the degree of the polynomial. Here you know that the highest power of the variable in the polynomial becomes the degree of the polynomial. Here the highest power is 3, therefore the degree of polynomial is 3. Here the highest power is 2, therefore the degree of the polynomial is 2. Here the highest power is 1, therefore the degree of the polynomial is 1. Here it is highest power of the variable is 0. So it is constant polynomial and the degree of the polynomial area 0. Next, classify the following as linear, quadratic and cubic polynomial. Here linear polynomial means highest power of the variable is 1. Quadratic polynomial means the highest power of the variable is 2. Cubic polynomial is a polynomial in which the highest power of the variable is 3. So if the highest power of the variable is here 2, so it is quadratic polynomial. And in the second one, x minus x square, the highest power of the variable is 2, so it is also quadratic polynomial. In the third, the highest power of the variable is 2, therefore it is quadratic polynomial. And in the fourth, the highest power of the variable is 1. X is there means x to the power of 1 it is. So the highest power of the variable is 1, therefore it is linear polynomial. And in 3t, in this polynomial also, highest power of the variable is 1, therefore it is linear polynomial. Here r square, I square means the highest power of the variable is 2, therefore it is quadratic polynomial. And here the highest power of the polynomial is 3, therefore it is cubic polynomial. Next you learn all the identities, and it is already said about the identities, and you must memorize this, keep it in your mind, and wherever necessary you must ready to use it. Now about the criteria for the congruency of triangle. Here there are some congruence rule for the congruency of triangle. SAS congruence rule, ASA congruence rule, AAS congruence rule, SSS congruence rule, RHS congruence rule. So now let us discuss about the SAS congruence rule. Here the statement of SAS congruence rule says that two triangles are congruent if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to the two sides and the included angle of the other triangle. See here triangle ABC and triangle PQ are two triangles. Here two sides of AB, BC of triangle ABC are correspondingly equal to the sides PQ and QR of the triangle PQR. That is, AB is equals to PQ and BC is equals to QR, and angle made by AB and BC, that is included angle of the sides AB and BC, that is angle B, is equals to the included angle of the sides PQ and QR, that is angle Q. So here two sides and included angle of the triangle ABC are equals to the corresponding two sides and included angle of the triangle PQR. Therefore, you can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. This is according to SAS congruence rule. Next, ASA congruence rule. According to the statement of ASA congruence rule, two triangles are congruent if two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to two angles and the included angle of the other triangle. See the triangle ABC and triangle DEF. Here two angles, angle B and angle C of triangle ABC are equals to the two angles of triangle DEF, that is angle E and angle F, and their included side. Here BC is the included side of the angle B and C, and here EF is the included side of the angle E and F, and they are also equal. Here angle B is equals to angle E and BC is equals to EF, and angle C is equals to angle F. Therefore, you can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Triangle DEF. This is about the ASA congruence rule. Next, about AAS congruence rule. According to the statement of the AAS congruence rule, two triangles are congruent if any two pairs of angles and one pair of corresponding sides are equal. In triangle ABC and triangle PQR, angle A is equals to angle P and angle B is equals to angle Q, that is AA, and side BC is equals to side QR, that is S, that is AAS, angle side. So these two triangles ABC is congruent to triangle PQR because two angles of triangle ABC are equals to the two angles of triangle PQR, and one side of triangle ABC is equals to the one side of the triangle PQR. Therefore, according to the AAS congruence rule, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Next, about the SSS congruence rule. The statement of the SSS congruence rule is, if three sides of one triangle are equal to the three sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Here, consider the triangle PQR and triangle XYZ. PQ is equals to XY and QR is equals to YZ and PR is equals to XZ. Therefore, these two triangles are congruent because their corresponding sides are equal. As all the three corresponding sides are equal means these two triangles are congruent. That is nothing but SSS congruence rule. That is, here PQ is equals to XY, QR is equals to YZ, PR is equals to XZ. Therefore, triangle PQR is equals to, congruent to triangle XYZ. This is about the SSS congruence rule. Now about the RHS congruence rule. It is a congruence rule for the congruency of right angle triangle. The statement is, if in two right angle triangles the hypotenuse and one side of one triangle are equals to the hypotenuse and one side of the other triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Here there are two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Now, in these two triangles, you know that here angle B and angle Q are right angles, and the hypotenuse AC is equals to the hypotenuse PR, and the side BC is equals to side QR. Here in these two right angle triangles, hypotenuse are equal and one more pair of sides are equal. Therefore, these two triangles are congruent. That is, here angle B and angle Q are right angles. So, these two are right angle triangle, and hypotenuse AC is equals to hypotenuse PR and BC is equals to QR. Therefore, triangle, right angle triangle ABC is congruent to right angle triangle PQR. Right angle triangle PQR. So these are the different congruence rule. You know that angles opposite to equal sides of a triangle are equal, and also sides opposite to equal angles of a triangle are equal. Now in triangle ABC, if AB is equals to AC, then angle B is equals to angle C. And in triangle ABC, if angle B is equals to angle C, then AB is equals to AC. Side AB is equals to AC. So here in the first case the sides are equal and angles opposite to equal sides are equal. In the second case angles are equal, therefore the sides opposite to equal angles are equal. And also you know that in an equilateral triangle, measurement of each angle is equals to 60 degree. You know what is equilateral triangle? The triangle in which all sides are equal. Then if all sides are equal means measurement of each angle is equals to 60 degree. Now about the quadrilateral. What is quadrilateral? Quadrilateral is a plane figure bounded by four non-collinear line segments, and here there is a figure of quadrilateral. ABCD is a quadrilateral. Here there are four line segments, AB, BC, CD and DA, and here they are non-collinear. They are non-collinear line segments, and you know that quadrilateral is having four angles, angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D, and it is having four sides, AB, BC, CD, DA, and also it is having two diagonals, AC and BD. And you know that the sum of all the four angles of quadrilateral is 360 degree. Sum of all the four angles of quadrilateral is 360 degree. There are different types of quadrilateral, and here it is one of the common quadrilateral, and the different types of quadrilateral are here. See the figures. The first one is that is trapezium. Next it is a parallelogram, and this rectangle, rhombus, square, all these are also parallelograms, and this is a common parallelogram. The second figure is common parallelogram, and the remaining rectangle, rhombus and square, these are special types of parallelogram. And the sixth figure is kite. It is one of the special quadrilateral, and here each quadrilateral is having its own property. You know what is trapezium? Trapezium is a quadrilateral in which only one pair of opposite sides are parallel. Here AB is parallel to DC, but AD is not parallel to BC. So it is a quadrilateral in which only one pair of opposite sides are parallel. And in parallelogram, both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. In all the parallelograms, the second, third, fourth and fifth, all these are parallelograms, and here both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel and also they are equal. And these four figures are having some common properties, and this rectangle, rhombus and square are having some special properties also. You know that in all the parallelograms, opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equals, and diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles, and diagonals bisect each other, and the sum of consecutive angles is equals to 180 degree, means they are supplementary. You know that angle P plus angle C is equals to 180. Similarly, angle S plus angle R is equals to 180. Angle R plus angle Q is equals to 180. Angle Q plus angle P is equals to 180. Consecutive angles are supplementary. That is, in all the parallelogram, consecutive angles are supplementary. And this rectangle, the rectangle is also a parallelogram which is having all the properties of parallelogram, but together with that, here the special property means all the angles are right angles. All the angles are right angles, and diagonals are also equal. Diagonals are also equal. These two are the special property. And in rhombus, the fourth figure is a rhombus. Rhombus is also parallelogram. It is having all the properties of parallelogram, and together with this, here the special property is all the sides are equal. All the sides are equal. Here, if EFGH is a parallelogram, means EF is equals to FG is equals to GH is equals to HE. And one more property is here diagonals are unequal and they bisect each other. Diagonals are unequals, they bisect perpendicularly. They bisect each other at perpendicularly. Here, if they bisect at a point O, means the angle are here 90 degree angles. The four angles are here 90 degree angles, they are right angles. And the fifth figure is a square. Square is also a parallelogram. It is also having all the properties of parallelogram. Together with this, here you know that all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal to 90 degree. All the angles are equals to 90 degree, and the special property means all the angles are equal to 90 degree and all the sides are equal, and here diagonals are also equal and they bisect perpendicularly. The angle at O, all the four angles are right angles. These are about the special properties of square. Next, kite. Kite is a quadrilateral in which two pairs of adjacent sides are equal. Here you see, here AD and DC is one pair of adjacent side, they are equal. And next pair of adjacent side AB and BC. Here these two are equal and these two are also equal. So this is one of the special property of the kite. So different types of quadrilaterals are having their own special properties together with the common property also. This is about the quadrilateral and parallelograms and their type.